Have you ever had that one experience that you just couldn't shake for the rest of your life? Something that happened to you that was so horrible, so excruciating that it just stuck with you? Even if you somewhat got over it, in your head, we both know it's still there, you know? Well, that basically happened to me in high school. So, just to give you a image for you guys that like to picture things in your head, and I can't animate. I wish I could. But who knows? But this would take place in the sophomore year of high school for me, and I was actually just on and off with a specific girl. We're gonna call her Tina for the channel, but me and Tina were off and on since sophomore year. Since freshman year, and we were like here and there, cool with each other, and then not cool with each other. It was really not really freshman year. It was kind of like the summer before sophomore year that we were really a thing. But I remember us being off for a little bit, and this is before the experience, but we were not really talking as much. I think we just broke up again, and while we were breaking up, I was really feeling myself sophomore year, you know? I was in football, I was getting big, and I was like, you know what, forget her. She's always, toying with my emotions, even though I really did have feelings for her big time. But I was like, you know what, forget it, I'm just gonna find me another girl real quick, go the jealous route. And I found another girl that somewhat liked me, and I kind of knew that she always liked me, but of course with me being with Tina, I wasn't gonna go that route. Loyal, black men are loyal. But yeah, I found this girl. We're gonna call her Sarah. I was with Sarah, and she liked me, so I could easily, bag, if you know what I mean. So me and Sarah were talking for a little bit, and it was cool, Tina would see me and Sarah walking in the hallways and stuff, thought that I was the thing, thought that I was the shit, and I'm seeing Tina's face, and I'm just loving every second of it. But as I'm loving every second of it, I see Sarah, she's really trying to close in, she's trying to close the deal. And at one point, it got a little too far. Like, of course, in her head, it wasn't far at all because I was her boyfriend, so she thought that was just normal. But she was trying to go in for a kiss, and for some reason, I thought offense. And I remember that day because I remember smelling, I think she ate salt and vinegar chips, and she came in for a kiss, and I could just smell them. And I was like, yeah, so I got to get to class. It's like 2 minutes to the bell. At my school, you have 5-minute passing periods. So you had 5 minutes to get to your next class. And 3 of the minutes I was using her to, make Tina jealous. So I was like, yeah, I got to get to class. And she looked at her, she was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And she went in for a hug. And I kind of gave her one of those side hugs like a friend. And she definitely picked that up. But I went to class, and me and her kind of never really did anything. We were really on talk. It was all talk, not really any bark, or not really any bite. It was all bark, no bite. I remember a couple of times we were on, y'all don't clown me, but I didn't have an iPhone. I had an Android game for life. But I had an Android and I couldn't FaceTime, so I would use other apps. I know y'all remember airtime. I know y'all remember Uvu and all of that stuff. Yeah, I was using those. So don't clown me. But I was using those, and I was always on FaceTime with Sarah, you know. And like I said, talking a lot of game. Wasn't really trying to do any of it. And I was like, yeah, you ain't never been with a black guy before. I can show you what it feels to be. Also corny stuff, you know? And just talking a lot. And I remember just not following through, because towards the end, Tina texted me. And need I remind you, or need I tell you, me and Sarah, the whole time, I think me and her were together for a base of 3 days. 3 to 4 days, if that. So within these 4 days, I was able to make Tina jealous, and at the same time not try to do anything with Sarah. So I was with Sarah for like 4 days, and I remember the night before I broke up with Sarah, I remember Tina texting me. She's like, I know how you feel. I know you don't like her. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, I know you don't like her. I know you don't want to be with her. You're not happy with her. And I'm like, yo, where is all of this coming from? You know, why are you telling me this? She goes, well, because I know I'm not happy without you and stuff like that. Just your basic toxic relationship. And I was like, well, that's very true, but what are we trying to do about this? She was like, well, I want you back. I want to get together again. And I'm like, I was shaky at first. I was like, nah, I was hesitant because I know we're just going to split up again. She's like, no, I really want to be with you. I was like, okay, cool. So next morning at school, I kind of split off things with Sarah. Sarah's like, I thought you wanted to show me what it's like to be with a black man and all that stuff. And I was like, God, thinking back, that was so corny. And I was just like, yeah, it's not going to work out. You're going to have to find what it feels like from another black guy, just not this black guy. So, doses. And throw her a peace sign. Didn't look back at her, ever. Was with Tina afterwards. But I know for a fact, I had to have struck a nerve in Sarah, because I think she knew she was the rebound, not really rebound, just being used to make Tina jealous. And she picked that up. So for lunch, I would sit next to my boy Key, Tina, and her friend, and it'd just be us at the lunch table. I wasn't the type that likes a full table. I mean, a full table was cool, but you know, once you have that girl, you don't necessarily sit at a huge table. But that was usually what my table consisted of. All of a sudden, for the next few days, Sarah wants to sit with us. She comes sit with us, doesn't ask or anything. She just places her table, which, why would she ask? It's a public table in a cafeteria. But she comes and sits down with us a few times, and she's just calling me bestie, best friend, just really getting under Tina's skin. Like, she hates it. She's hating every moment of it. And Sarah is doing her thing. Like, she's really doing it. Like, she's acting. If she wasn't acting, then wow. Why would you do that? But if she was, stellar award. But she was just all up under me and all that stuff, taking selfies with me in front of Tina. And I'm sitting here pushing back like, yo, my girl's right here. What is you doing? You know? I'm like, yeah, get off me. Get off me. Get off me, heathen. I don't like you. Tina, I love you. I don't know her. But it got kind of bad, because I think one time Sarah's underneath me, up under me. She wraps her arm around me and lays her head on my shoulder. And Tina just couldn't take it anymore. She got up from the table and she walked off. I'm like, oh God, oh no, Sarah, what did you do? And Sarah's acting like nothing happened. She's still doing her thing. And her and her friend, or Tina, walks off. Her friend goes after her, and they go down a hallway. The bell rings for, lunch is over, and we're all walking our separate ways. I'm telling Key, yo, what just happened? What just happened, bro? And he was like, beats me. I was just there. To be honest, that whole table, that whole lunch period, she wasn't even talking to me. She would talk across to Key. And Key would be so confused because he's like, I don't really talk to her like that. I talk to you, she talks to you, and that'd be it. But the whole time she's talking to me, this is weird. And he was like, yeah, something's not right. Of course he saw Sarah all up on me, so that he already knew that was a problem. But he just felt so confused and conflicted, the fact that my girl was talking to him instead of me. And he was like, dude, whatever you do, man, just fix it. It's not going to look right. I was like, yeah. Dap him up. He goes to his class. And I walk a little bit ways down the hall. And I look at her walking away, getting consulted by her friend. And something in me just was like, nah, it's not worth it. Don't do it. I went, dang. All of a sudden the bell rings, meaning you're late to class. And I'm like, shit. So I skedaddle to my class. Wow, I haven't used skedaddle in a minute. But I run to class, get there. I am late, but my teacher was cool. So he let me through. And because usually teachers be crazy, If you're even a second late, they want you to run and get a tardy slip. This is high school. You would think you would treat us like a little more older, but it's cool. More older. But I get in class, and I'm just thinking the whole way, what did I just do? What did I just mess up? Why didn't I go over there? What made me come to class besides the bell? But I think you can tell after that it was split. Exactly that night, she called me. I'm really good with my words when it comes to texting. I would say I can try to win, or I'd be really close to winning an argument in texting, because I'm not really thinking about, or I am thinking on how she would take it. I'm taking, precaution. I'm doing this like step by step. I'm that good, right? And I guess all of that texting led to her being able to call me, because at first she didn't even want to talk to me or hear my voice. But through my texting, she called, and she's crying. And the one thing that I can't stand as a woman, I care about crying. I break down. I can't do anything. Like, I don't break down like and cry. I just break down like mentally. I'm like, uh-oh, I'm stunned, right? So she's crying. She's telling me, well, why would you keep letting her do that? Why would you get close to her? And my dumbass thought that it was a good excuse to say the fact that Sarah's mother was our teacher, a very strict teacher that had homework every day. And I used that as an excuse. I said, oh, I was just getting close to her so that she could give me answers. She was like, but your lowest grade in that class has been like an 86. You always pass that class easily. And even then, you have me, and I pass the class easily. You're not dumb. You don't need any answers from her. And she's saying this in a weeping, like, oh, you don't need it. And I'm sitting here, oh, yeah. I'm sorry? Yeah, that didn't work. She was like, yeah, hung up the phone. Couldn't do anything else. Couldn't do anything else about that. For the next few days, she shunned me, stayed away from me. Could tell she was heartbroken every time she even looked close to where I am. And that was the beginning of sophomore year, by the way. All of this happened in like right before homecoming. So In the swift span of summer to homecoming, I had a prospect of 2 dates. Yes, we talked about being my homecoming date and everything. Tina was going to be my homecoming date. We talked about it in the summer. Didn't happen. Sarah was going to be my homecoming date. That definitely didn't happen. But the worst experience, all of this, said all of this to come to the good stuff. I don't have a date. I was really debating on even going to Hoco, but my friends got me into it. So I went with my boy Q. Y'all will meet him if y'all haven't seen the podcast yet. It's coming either right after this video or right before this video. But I was with my boy Q, and Key wasn't going to no dance. I don't think he ever went to any dance. No, he went to one dance, and it was homecoming senior year. But besides that, he didn't go to any dances really. So he wasn't going. So it was me with Q, and then another one of my boys. It's like, should I say their name or not? I'm gonna call him Dexter. I like Dexter a lot, but I like the name Dexter. Chill, pause. But it was me, Q, and Dexter, and my older brother was driving us there. He drove us there. I know I was looking good. I was not even close to being over the situation, but it was what it was. I was there, chilling with my friends, dancing a little bit, a tiny bit. I saw Tina there. Man, at that night, I remember her looking really amazing, of course. And I was like, yo, what did I do to mess this up? Can I go back? Is there a way that I can get her to dance with me so I can talk to her? I wasn't that courageous. At least I wasn't anymore. After that night, hearing her cry, it kind of ruined my confidence. Because I'm usually not bad at talking. But after that, it kind of destroyed me a little on the inside. And couldn't manage the confidence to walk up to her, talk to her. And all of a sudden, I'm talking, the DJ had to see what I was going through and was like, I'm about to get this guy. I'm about to punch him dead in his chest. Watch. He plays a slow song. And which, of course, every DJ does that at a homecoming dance. But for some reason, it just felt like he was out for me. That DJ was the devil. And he played a slow song, and I don't know how this happened. I was on the dance floor. He just got finished playing a fast song that I was dancing to. He switched over to the slow song, and a random girl that I guess was in my grade walks up to me and says, "Let's dance." She grabs me in and she tells me to pull her close. I'm like, okay. I pull her close and we're dancing, slow dancing. And she's just dancing and we're dancing and we're talking, not really talking, but like these subtle, "You enjoying homecoming so far?" "Yeah." "You?" "Yeah." Yeah, what is the motive here? Why is she dancing with me? Did she just wanted a rando? Like, could this have been anyone? And we're dancing. All of a sudden, as we're dancing, Tina walks by with her friend, and she makes eye contact with me. This, I kid you not, couldn't have been the slowest moment of my life. We make eye contact. It felt like a movie. She makes eye contact with me. I lock eyes with her. And I'm just like this with her, tracking her. And she's tracking me as I'm slow dancing with this rando. And don't want to disrespect and call her rando, but I don't want to give her another name. I don't want to lose y'all. But with this girl, random girl, we're dancing as we're tracking each other. Then she walks off, like she skirts off. And she's moving, she's hauling. After the song goes off, the random girl looks at me. She goes, "Thank you, I really needed that." Turns around, walks away. And I'm letting y'all know now, I didn't talk to her. We didn't talk, me and this girl, ever since. Didn't talk to her before, didn't talk to her after. Like, that was just a dance. That was it. And part of me thinks that she was trying to make her guy jealous because it was so sudden. But I didn't want to put my nose into any other business because I was already in something. So that night, danced with the random girl. Tina saw me do that. That basically was the worst night of my life, because after that, we were planning, everyone, after a high school dance, you want to go eat. You want to go eat out with your date. You want to go eat out with your friends. We were going to go to IHOP, me and my boys, Q and Dexter. Which, by the way, after the dance with the random girl, I turn around, head towards the tables, and it's closing out. The dance is starting to close out, and Dexter finds me first, and Dexter's not happy at all. He also had a horrible night, and I, to this day, don't necessarily remember or know what was going on, mainly because of what was going on in mine, but I just knew that me and him were not having a good night. Whereas Q, he was living his best life. He could care less. But either way, my brother picks me up. We get in the car. Two of us are not happy. One of us is ecstatic, not really caring, having the time of their life. I think Q sat in the front that day, whereas me and Dexter were in the back just sulking. And my brother's like, where are we going to eat? I know y'all want to eat. Mom said, I can take y'all to go grab something to eat. I didn't care. I wanted to go somewhere that was a little bit of distance from the school. So I chose IHOP. Because the first bet, everyone was going to go to Applebee's. Like, heard around the grapevine or something. Everybody was trying to go to Applebee's. So I knew that. So I went to IHOP, which was further than Applebee's. Like, another 15 minutes. We make our way to IHOP. And my brother drops us off. Or he doesn't drop us off because I think he was actually going to eat with us. But we walk into IHOP. My brother stays in the car just to, wait, see how long the wait is. We go in there, and it's packed, filled. And you would think, from other schools, they had homecoming with us. No, my school. My school was there. I sat down in the waiting area. As soon as I sat down, you would never believe. This was like a horrible Family Guy joke. Tina walks in. This was the worst rom-com of all time. She comes in. She looks at me, and I just had it up to here. I was like, I'm done. I burst out like some kind of dramatic show. I just walk out. As soon as I saw her, I walked out. Dexter followed. Q was so confused. He kind of was slow and stayed inside for a little bit and then realized that me and Dexter left. Then he walked off. But I left, went back into the car with my brother, and I said, forget IHOP. I'm not eating here. It's not happening. He's like, what's the problem? I thought you wanted IHOP. I was like, no, I don't want IHOP. I hate it. I don't want it. I don't want it. So Dexter jumps in, and Dexter knows what's going down with me, and he's like, bruh, how crazy is that for it to be she goes into the same exact place as you? And I'm like, bruh, I swear God's trying to get me. Somebody out there just hates me. So we sat in there. We wait about 3 minutes before Q finally realizes that we're gone. And he gets in the car. And we're trying to find somewhere else to eat. And we chose Applebee's. We went back to Applebee's. And wow. Just to find out, Applebee's is empty. No, none of my school. And if there is, it was people that I didn't really know. I saw a couple of people dressed up, but like I said, didn't know them. So they could have been from other schools. But it was empty. I was like, what the heck? I thought everybody was coming here. Why did all of a sudden everyone change to go to IHOP? It's like everybody looked at my phone and saw, oh yeah, he's trying to go to IHOP with his boys. Let's follow him. But no. Went to IHOP. We sat down. ordered our food. Q's talking about his time, what he did and everything, how he danced with a bunch of girls and stuff like that. Whereas me and Dexter, just sitting there. Food comes. I ate like 3 bites, and I didn't finish it. I didn't even pay. I think my brothers paid for me. And he's sitting there like, bro, are you going to eat that? You know, I paid money for that. Are you not going to eat? I was like, just box it. I'll eat it later. And I was not happy. I think Q came home with us. We dropped Dexter off. Got home that night. Me and Q chilling. And I'm just not having a night. I'm like, yo, what are the odds that I come to homecoming, make eye contact with her while I'm dancing with another girl, then to change my plans where I'm going to eat, and I see her. That right there, me and Tina, first off, that was the worst breakup I've ever gone through. And yikes, ever since then, I was sitting there like, yo, what did I do? What could I have done different? Of course, I'm not thinking that right or anymore because it happened. It kind of altered who I am today, put me in a situation that I am now, happily engaged, no problems, love my girl, think she's beautiful and all. So saying all of that because I know she's gonna watch this, but no, seriously though. But I do think back and I'm like, yo, that was like a horrible night. But yeah, that was the Hoco from hell. Hated it. But if y'all like this video, please show me by liking the video. Please. If you have any feedback, put it in the comments. I would love to hear, because this is a growing channel. And I put this channel out. There was a little bit of a break, but I wanted to make sure that when I put the channel up, I wanted to have a couple videos because I knew I wasn't going to be able to follow through right then and there. But I just wanted something to start, you know, like push it out there, quit saying, oh, maybe I'll do it whenever I move out, or maybe I'll do it whenever I have the chance, and that not coming. So there's the video. Like I said, like, share with your friends. If you truly enjoyed it, subscribe. And without further ado, God bless. Do what you do best. See you in the next video, guys. Peace.